All right, hello and welcome to another Expert Inside interview. My name is John Golden from Sales Pop, online sales magazine, and Pipeliner CRM, joining you as usual from a sunny San Diego. And today I'm delighted to be joined from the Bay Area, San Francisco, by Adam Nathan. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, John.
Yeah, and Adam is spending time at some of the most complex organizations and companies in the world. White House, Apple, Lyft. Realized that he was spending more time coordinating work than doing it, taking inspirations from how developers worked in GitHub and designers worked in Figma. He founded Almanac to build a tool that helps teams collaborate. And in 2023, you launched your second product, Blaze, the number one marketing AI tool for teams to create better content in half the time. And that's kind of where we're going to focus on today is AI. And tell me, Adam, do you think AI is really becoming, if you like, a great democratizer, if you like, and bridging the gap between what large enterprises, traditionally were able to do just by having resources and money, and smaller businesses and entrepreneurs and startups?
Yeah, absolutely. We focus at Blaze on what we call teams of one. So small business owners, entrepreneurs, founders, freelancers, creatives, agencies. What really unites them is that they're folks who have to do marketing to grow their businesses, but
Mhm.
aren't professional marketers by trade, don't have the money to hire a full-time marketer often or a great agency, and don't have time to learn how to do so themselves. And so they're often caught in this catch-22 where they need to produce great content, but it's a full-time job. They don't have that time. They're wearing 10 hats. And Blaze is like hiring basically the best virtual marketer you've ever met, who is able to work nights and weekends without complaining or getting tired, making super high
Mhm.
quality content for you for like 1/10,000th of the cost of hiring an agency. Blaze costs $49 a month. And so
Mhm.
not only is it producing, months worth of content in a couple of minutes automatically for you, but it's at a fraction of the price. And so, what we are seeing happen, I think, in real time is that the rules are being rewritten around who gets to win in the economy. It's not
Mhm.
about how much money you have or what connections you have or how big you are. It's really, I think, as we've always thought the American dream should be, that what matters is that you have the courage to bet on yourself, the creativity to do amazing work, the commitment to see it through. And so I think AI is changing the game in that way. It still requires human creativity. AI
Mhm.
is not sentient.
Right.
It still requires your thoughts, your creativity, your ideas. And so I think just like anything else, there's going to be winners and losers from this game. But any folks, I think, like our customers who have already jumped on this bandwagon and figured out how to make it work for them and their businesses. For our customers, we see on average 3 times higher revenue or sales for them after using the product for 3 months than before. And so they're not just producing more content; they're actually making more money, and that's really
Mhm.
gratifying for us at Blaze.
Yeah, because it seems to be now that this is kind of opening a golden era where the best ideas can really win rather than the best funded ideas, which has been in the past. And I
Yep.
guess it's also, I mean, there's been that whole change where there's more and more people are looking to do things like be solopreneurs, go out on their own, and before it was maybe a harder thing to do. But now it's kind of all the pieces are falling into place. You've got tools like yours, you've got the ability to hire contract resources from across the world very cost effectively. You're able to get reach and scale in a way that you haven't been able to before.
Yeah, there's kind of an irony where, in many ways, Blaze replaces agencies for a lot of our
Mhm.
customers, but our largest segment of our customers
All right.
by volume is agencies because
Mhm.
agencies are also using Blaze to increase the amount of clients they can serve. They use our features like brand voice to basically create different accounts per client. We have a replacement for Canva and for Google Docs where agencies can invite clients in to review and approve the work that Blaze generates for them. Blaze can auto schedule and post and analyze content over weeks and months. And so agencies can spend more time, attracting new clients and serving them face to face rather than spending time rating content. And so I think what AI is doing overall is basically, like many other technologies before it, up leveling the kind of work that humans spend their time on. It's automating or eliminating the rote, boring, often annoying work that you
Mhm.
have to do. No one gets up in the morning to figure out how to say the same thing 100 different times. That's pretty mind numbing to do. But that's actually what you have to do if you want to make people aware that your business exists day after day, week after week. And so, I think what AI ultimately is helping with is allowing all of us to spend our time on the kind of work that only humans can do, the kind of work that's deeply creative and satisfying and valuable to other people. That's what we see, across the spectrum of the different types of customers we serve.
Yeah, no, and I would agree with you, and we would agree with you as well, because we see that, as you said, is that at the end of the day, if you're creative, if you want to do well, if you want to do the high value activities, this is probably the greatest opportunity you're ever going to have. But you have to want to do that, right? If you still wanted to be down in the road and routine, probably going to have a tougher road.
Yeah, I think there's, just like any technology, going to be a lot of people who don't want to adopt it. We
Mhm.
have on our phones now, the ability to know as much information as a local in any city around the world, and yet a lot of people still can't figure out how to
Mhm.
get from A to B. And I think
Right.
the same thing will be true with AI, where if you lean into the technology, you learn how to make it work for you. Your business will see, as we've seen for our customers, exponential growth. You will make more money with less time and fewer people than you ever have before, but as much as you're succeeding, there will be other people who are stagnating or even falling behind, simply because they're not leaning in and taking the first steps to figuring things out, and that's their prerogative. But it's just that's what we're seeing, I think,
Mhm.
in our customer base, in our markets, and it's just so contrary to this dystopian future you sometimes read about from, I think, pundits who don't know what they're talking about, where it's like, oh, we're all going to live in a world where everybody's equal and we're just consuming mediocre content all the time. That's not what's happening.
No.
Some businesses are getting way farther ahead early on, and those benefits, those gains will compound with time. And yeah, there's going to be, I think, even bigger winners and even bigger losers from this powerful technology as anything that came before it.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the quality is what's going to win at the end of the day. I mean, I was saying a few years ago, if everybody's a content creator, then who's consuming the content? And the thing is, like, there's and a lot of people have done this and have just churned out lots and lots of, I would say, relatively low value content. Because over the last number of years, people were like, content is king, and therefore just push out content and content marketing, content this. But the quality matters, because I think we're becoming a lot more discerning. And I think AI is actually going to help that, because in many ways, because people are going to have their radars up even more to see like the quality of content.
Well, yeah, I think that that is a faulty idea based on wrong assumptions. If you actually know anything about how these algorithms work, both on social media
Mhm.
sites like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, as well as with Google and their search, the algorithms don't promote content that's bad. And so
Yep.
if you can make 100 videos a day, but if the algorithm thinks that nobody's going to watch them, the algorithm won't promote them. The algorithm promotes high quality content that's engaging and compelling, because on the other side of that algorithm are a bunch of people, and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram want people to continue to scroll on the app. So they only really show people content that's good. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
it's not really about quantity; it's about quality. Same thing is true for Google.
Yeah.
If Google looks through your content and decides for itself, does this blog post answer a question that somebody might be searching for? And if the answer is no, it's not going to index that page very highly. And so, content doesn't work unless it's high quality.
Mhm.
And people don't stick with AI tools unless they're producing high quality content for them. I can tell you that personally, because a lot of our customers have come from other tools that sound good in theory, have a great demo, but don't actually produce high quality blog posts or newsletters or social media content. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we live and die based on, does our customer think that this post looks and sounds like them? And then over time, does all the content we generate for
Mhm.
them lead to more sales? It's
Yeah.
kind of like working out. You can
Yeah.
go to the gym, and after 3 months, you don't see any gains. You probably won't keep going. And the same thing is true for us. And I think that's the stakes.
Yeah, and I think there's something interesting you just touched on there, and I think, and obviously, I think your product solves this issue to some degree. But I mean, there's been such a plethora of tools coming out, and tools coming out all the time, and human nature being what it is, people love to believe the hype and think, oh, this tool, and then they try that tool, and then they see another one over there, and they're jumping from tool to tool to tool. And at that stage, your productivity is actually going down. Plus, you don't even know which tool really works at the end of the. I mean, I was telling somebody recently they were, using one of these humanizer apps, right? And I said, yeah, that's great. Run it through copy leaks and see how good that is. And everything out of that humanizer app failed in copy leaks, right? And it seems to me that what you're doing here is, you mentioned, replacing Canva and Google Docs, and that is trying to bring something together where you can have a tool set in one place as opposed to constantly jumping to all these other tools.
Yeah, at Blaze, we call it full stack marketing or full
Hmm.
cycle marketing, where Blaze both first kind of tells you what you should be doing. So we give you a strategic plan that tells you what channels you should be in,
Hmm.
who you should be talking to, what you should be saying, how to make it compelling, how frequently to post. And so there's kind of a brainstorming and strategy piece where a lot of our customers don't even know what they should, what
Hmm.
marketing they should be doing.
Right.
That's a critical step. And then Blaze generates content, allows you to edit it, schedules and posts it for you, and then analyzes it. And then based on the winners, will generate more content like your highest performing posts or blog posts. So that turns marketing from a funnel into a loop where in this case the AI is really learning and improving from what's working and what's not. And one last thing I'll touch on there is that there's a lot of tools that are kind of chatbot oriented where you
Hmm.
kind of go back and forth like ChatGPT, and it's you ask it something, it spits it out, you say yes or no, it does it again. We don't think that that's the right interface for, especially for marketing content. If you're asking AI to do something and then it produces a bad result, there's only so many times you're going to do that before you lose trust entirely and churn
Hmm.
and try something else. Um, our goal is to generate content for you that's 90% plus high quality, but we still think that humans need a sense of transparency and control over that quality. And when and if there's, and I think, frankly, almost all the time people want to tweak a little bit. And especially if it's really wrong or off the mark, you want to go in and tweak a lot.
Hmm.
So we've invested a lot of our time building collaborative editors. So we have a Google Docs like editor for long form content. We have a Adobe Photoshop replacement for images and videos. It's a lot like Canva. Because we know that unless you're able to go in and tweak something that is perfect for you, you're
Yeah.
not going to stick around. And ironically, that's actually the hard part of building a platform like ours. It's not hard to plug into an LLM and have it
Yeah.
generate content. The hard thing is uh, enabling you as a customer to create content that's high quality for you and your business and your customers. And that's what's taken us years to build. And I think it's why our retention is really high and why our growth has been explosive. Because, as you said, the only thing that matters at the end of the day is uh, is is it high quality? And if it's kind of a binary answer for folks, and if the answer is no, as a business, you're not going to be around.
Yeah, and what's interesting you mentioned there is, measuring the outcomes and the metrics, because I think that's somewhere where, let's face it, a lot of marketing hide behind the fact that there's, they'll say they analyze, they say they track, and they'll say they, but at the end of the day, it's probably not done to the degree it should be done. But it sounds like from your platform that you're really are bubbling up the metrics that really count, and really focusing in on what's actually working for you, so that you can, fully put your energy behind what's working, as opposed to spreading yourself thin.
We try. With marketing, it's
Sure.
not as simple as like AI that generates code where you can quickly test it and see, does it make a
Hmm.
website or doesn't it? With
Hmm.
marketing, of course, it's more correlated, not fully causal. It takes a while to figure some stuff out, um, and so it's a longer time horizon to see
Hmm.
results than with generating code, for example. But yeah, most businesses, whether they're using AI or not, are not actually measuring what they're doing and then looking at that data and learning from it. And that's actually how you get better. Most content people put out there doesn't work, and that's fine because, frankly, I don't know what most people don't know what people want. I'm
Hmm.
always surprised by what people want. And so you do have to swing a lot at your marketing to try a bunch of things. But the critical piece to success is then finding the one or two things that worked out of 100 at bats that you had, and then
Hmm.
generating more content like that. So then the next 100 you make are more like the one or two, and then maybe the next round you have 10 or 20 posts that work, and then that's how you get compounding growth over time, is by using data to figure out what people really want and then reinvesting in it. And that has nothing to do with AI. Actually, that's just a marketing
Yeah.
best practice. um, but yeah, connecting the activities between the analytics and the generation, yeah, we think is critical to actually helping companies move up the curve and gaining more impressions, more followers, more leads, and more sales.
Hmm. So where are you going with your product? What's in the future? What's down the road?
Yeah, great question. Because I was just in a meeting talking about this right before with our customers. But you know, the value prop that we launched Blaze with was better content in half the time.
Hmm.
And I knew before we even launched the product that it was a grand slam because I had talked to enough customers and spent enough time with them that I knew that like that if we were able to do that in a high quality way consistently for millions of people, that we'd have a very big business, which is what's actually happened. Today we have millions of users. We've grown from 0 to 8 figures in revenue in
Wow.
16 months. So truly explosive growth off of that initial value prop. But the flaw, I think, in that vision of the product is that uh, you still have to be there. AI is kind of a co-pilot to you,
Yeah.
but there's still work you have to do. And as our product has expanded in scope, the consistent feedback I hear from users is, there's so much in this product. It's too complicated. I feel like I'm not getting the full value of it. Can you give us more education and more webinars and more events? What people are saying there in different forms is, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
still requiring too much of my time. And, there's thankfully enough people do have enough time for it that we built a very big business. But what if AI just did the marketing for you? Like, what if
Hmm.
we could just essentially approximate the relationship you'd have with a contractor, and be like a person where rather than needing to go through every step in a workflow where AI automates some of it or
Yeah.
makes it faster, AI just did it. And so what we've been building is this virtual marketer experience where when you sign up with Blaze, just from your website, we can come up with what we call a brand plan for you, where we tell you, as I mentioned, what channels you should be in. We already do this in the product, but it'll be even more automated than today. Kind of like basically, here's a marketing strategy for you. You can
Right.
edit it, but you can approve it. And then from there, every week we'll send you content, just like an agency would do for the either email channels or SEO or social goals that you have. You can go in and edit those pieces of content, or you can just auto approve them, just like you would maybe in Slack or in an email or a
Yeah.
meeting
Yeah.
today with a person. And then we'll send you a recap every week of here's your performance, here's what went well, here's what we're changing next week, here's what we need from you. So Blaze basically does the work for you. And at any point in time, you can go in and see what's happening. You can see what's posted. You can see how it's performing. You can edit it. And we think, again, that transparency and control is really important because if we're doing work for you and you don't know how it's being created, you don't know what's being posted,
Hmm.
and it's not working, you'll definitely not stick around because that's not better than doing it yourself. But if we can combine that automation um, with some control, so that you can kind of blend your human creativity with the kind of 24/7 efficiency of a
Hmm.
machine, we think that will kind of take small business growth to the next level. And we already are seeing that happen kind of first with dev tools. There's products like Lovable and Bolt and Cursor on the engineering side that are basically writing
Yeah.
entire pieces of software for folks. And again, it's an easier place to start because software is just code is just text. It can be done on a command line. You can easily verify it. What we're doing with marketing is images, it's video, it's
Hmm.
branded copy. It needs to go out in the world and have people click on it or not and look at that data. So the cycle time is a little bit longer. It's a much more complex output, but we already have the vision I just explained to you
Yeah.
in market with our customers, and it's just super exciting to see not just how much time it saves people. It saves a ton of time,
Yeah.
um, but also the results. It produces better content than I think any of these customers would have done on their own, and that content actually grows impressions and leads and revenue for them. And so that's really exciting for us because it means our broader vision of changing who gets to win in America
Hmm.
is becoming more true. Will more people take advantage of it? Yes. Will everybody take advantage of it? No. And that's I think what makes America America is
Yeah.
it still will come down to you and your business and what you want from it and how creative and ambitious you are.
Hmm.
Even technology that's turnkey like what we're building is an opportunity that yes everyone has access to, but not everyone will take advantage of. And so I think there's a big revolution coming
Yeah.
to small
No,
business. And
I think across the board, I mean, one of the things that I would argue as well is like just there's a big change. Like we're currently we're going to be bringing out agents in our CRM soon because I just think people don't want to learn software anymore. They don't want to learn like clicks and drop downs and do this and do that and whatever. They wanted they want to unlock the power of what the system does, but they want it in a very simple way. And I think that's what agents are going to we're going to interact very differently with technology going forward. And as you said, it's going to be more about us explaining what we want and the system then giving us what we want, as opposed to us learning how to get that result, through some long drawn out learning process.
yep. Yeah, couldn't have said it better.
Well, listen, Adam, this has been fascinating. Blaze.ai, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So all of Adam's information will be below this video. But before we go, please do add anything else you want to say about Blaze.ai and what you're doing.
Yeah, well, we'd love for everyone to check it out. We have a 7-day free trial, and I also spend a lot of time talking to small business owners and founders. And so, if you're on an entrepreneurship journey of your own or figuring out how to make your business grow, I write a newsletter called Startup Tycoon. Love talking to people, so hit me up in my DMs. I'm on, of course, LinkedIn and Twitter and all the rest, and would love to hear from you and see how I can help.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, listen, thanks again, Adam. Thank you for watching, listening, and I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you.
Thanks.